Welcome to Pulse 24. This week, OpenAI wants your whole team running agents. An open source project claims it can remember what your agents forgot, and DeepSeek undercuts the frontier on price. Let's get into it. So on the 23rd of April, OpenAI announced what they're calling workspace agents, according to the OpenAI blog. These are shared automations that any team member can trigger inside an enterprise ChatGPT plan.
It moves agent orchestration from something each team builds internally to something the vendor provides out of the box. For platform teams that have been gluing together their own tooling, that could free up a lot of engineering time.
What does that actually change day to day, though? Most enterprise teams already have internal automation stacks.
The difference is maintenance burden. If OpenAI handles updates, security patches, and uptime, your platform engineers stop being agent infrastructure operators.
Right, but the governance piece worries me. Who audits what these shared agents access across team boundaries?
OpenAI hasn't detailed its compliance controls for workspace agent data flows yet. That's the gap to watch.
So what's the move for platform leads this week?
Evaluate workspace agents against your current internal automation stack. If it matches your requirements, that's engineering headcount you can redeploy to higher value work.
On the topic of custom tooling, a project called YourMemory dropped on the 27th of April from Sachi Trafa on GitHub.
The core problem it targets is agent memory loss. Right now, most agents lose their working context between sessions, so every conversation starts from scratch.
And YourMemory is trying to fix that locally, without a hosted service.
It's a zero infrastructure memory layer that runs entirely on your machine. According to the project's own benchmarks, it hit 59% of relevant context retrieved in the top 5 results, which is above ZepCloud's managed service.
So, better recall than the paid option and no external dependencies. That sounds almost too clean.
The catch is that it's a single open source project without enterprise support or SLAs. A GitHub repository can't offer the contractual reliability a managed service can.
Does that matter if you're already maintaining custom memory code in-house?
If you're in that position, it's absolutely worth benchmarking this week. Run it against your existing solution, and if it matches what you've built, that's engineering time you redirect to differentiation.
But you'd want a plan for what happens when the maintainer goes quiet for 6 months.
You need a fork strategy and clear internal ownership before you adopt, not after you're already dependent on it.
Fair. Now, on the inference side, DeepSeek released V4 on the 24th of April, as reported by TechCrunch. It offers 1 million token context windows at costs significantly below existing frontier models.
The timing matters. OpenAI released GPT 5.5 the next day, on the 25th of April, according to the OpenAI API changelog, with matching context length.
Let's stay on that context window for a second. What does 1 million tokens actually unlock that shorter contexts couldn't?
You can feed an entire codebase or a full-length regulatory filing into a single prompt without chunking. That removes the retrieval pipelines teams built just to work around context limits. And it means fewer errors at chunk boundaries in compliance and legal workflows.
So now you've got direct competition at the frontier tier. Does DeepSeek's pricing actually shift procurement decisions?
Enterprise buyers rarely switch models mid-deployment. Integration costs, compliance certification, and vendor support agreements create friction that often exceeds the annual pricing difference.
So the savings on paper don't translate to savings in practice?
Not mid-contract, no. But the leverage is real at contract renewal, because you can point to a credible open source alternative and negotiate harder.
What should procurement teams actually do with that leverage right now?
If you run model procurement, benchmark DeepSeek V4 against your current provider on production workloads. Even if you don't switch, you want that data in hand before your next vendor conversation.
Quick hits now. Intel confirmed on the 25th of April, per Tom's Hardware, that agentic workloads are pushing server CPU demand toward a 1-to-1 ratio with GPUs.
The result is 20% price increases and 6-month lead times on Xeon chips. Every agent session needs an orchestration thread that batch inference capacity plans didn't account for.
Worth flagging for anyone budgeting infrastructure in the second half. And Vercel confirmed a data breach on the 20th of April, according to Vercel's own disclosure, after an employee granted an AI tool unrestricted access to their Google workspace.
A concrete reminder that agent permissions need the same access controls as human credentials. Least privilege isn't optional when the tool can read everything.
And the root cause there was a single toggle. Full access instead of scoped access on a tool that was already approved for use.
Which means the policy gap isn't whether to allow AI tools, it's ensuring every integration has granular permission scoping enforced at provisioning, not left to individual judgment.
A lot of ground covered this week. Anya, thanks for walking through all of it.
Thanks, Nate.
Stay curious, stay informed. See you next time.